Hey everyone, this is Pulkit, and this in this section we'll be talking about something called layout and views. So, what is a layout and what are views? So, whatever you see on your Android application screen consists of a layout and some views. So, you can think of like a layout and a view, something like to this. Let me just show you some examples for this. Okay. So right now I'm opening up the Android application for the coding blocks. Okay. So let me just give you a brief about this thing. So okay, so if you can see, this is a special mode which can be enabled inside the developer settings. Okay, so yeah, so if you see everything, like every item, like this icon, then this text, then this icon again, then this whole container is wrapped around some margins. So what are these margins? Basically, these margins tell the you can say system that everything is a sub component or sub view. So this thing is a view. This thing is also a view. This thing is also a view, and this whole container, that is the white block of every individual block. Uh, the white block of every individual item is also a view. Okay, but how do I distinguish between this view and this view? So the difference between this the white container which you have outside, or and the container that and the items here, is that whenever we hold some views inside a container, that thing is called a layout. So here, this thing, that is one individual item, is a layout. This is also a single layout, and inside one layout we have three items. Okay, you can also say that this whole screen that you are seeing right now is also a container which consists a back button, a heading, then this bar, this whole bar. Okay, and this list of items, and then in this list of items we have sub layouts, and in this sub layouts we have some more views. So everything consists of layouts and views, and everything we usually tend to have a layout, then we create some views inside that layout. Okay, so that is a basic concept about the layout and the views. So how do we make this layout and the views? So whatever you're seeing here is it can be a custom view, it can be a user made view, it can be a user made view slash custom view, or it can be a system view itself. That is, if you talk about this thing, that is the text view which you are seeing here. So it is a it is a generic view that is called something like a text. So this is a system driven view. I don't have to create this thing on my own. So but whereas in this case, this icon, or this circular icon, is not the native part of the Android. At least it wasn't until 3.6 of the Android version. Now it is available in the Google Material Library. Although this wasn't available in the native, in fact, I can say that this is not native. This is part of the Google Material Library. We'll be talking about libraries in the latest section of the course. Okay, so everything consists of the layout and the views. So this layout and the code or the view, we talk about everything in terms of the XML. So what is an XML? So for that, let me show you a quick example. I guess all of you have seen this language that is called an HTML language. And how do I distinguish an HTML language that is using this tags? For the HTML language, we have something like this called tags. We have a opening tag, then a closing tag, then this I would say this is a closing tag, this is a opening tag, and inside this opening and closing tag we have some sub tags, and this is nearly equivalent to this, but in this case you cannot have sub tags inside this HTML container. Okay, so for the Android we use something like similar to HTML, that is called an XML language. So we'll be using the XML language to make the views. And the only one thing that you need to know about the XML language, that is the this thing, that is you always have the proper that is a opening and a closing tag. Like if you do something like you make another body, and let's say you make a p tag, that is a paragraph for HTML, and you doesn't open this, or let's just say you just do something like this. In that case, your code will not work, it will give you an error. So always make sure that you are closing the tags correctly, that is in the correct order. It's also okay. That is the only thing that you need to about the XML language. Other than this, the all the properties that we'll be talking about, all the layout, all the views are part of the Android Studio itself. You don't have to write anything on your own. It will be suggested by you. It will be suggested to you by the Android Studio itself. So you don't need to learn them. You need to worry about them. Okay. So let's start with the working of the UI. Okay. So we just create a new project. So right now I'm using the Android version 4.0. Sorry, 4.1. That is a beta version. So and also I recommend all of you to use the Android 4 or above, so that you and I are on the same page. Okay. So we'll be creating an empty activity. Okay. So this are some default activity that are available to the Android Studio, but we'll be using we'll be using an empty activity. Okay. Then mm, okay. So let's just call this layout and use and finish. Okay, so we have created our a simple project that we can use to make the layouts or the views. So I guess all of you know that the Android code consists of the Kotlin code or the Java code, and along with this we have the XML language to create the views. So if you want to open the layout file of for an activity, you can just simply control click or command click on this line, that is r.layout.activity main. Also along with this you can do simply like first of all select the Android here. Then when you select the Android, open the res folder or the resources folder. Then inside the resources folder you have something called layout, and then the activity underscore main dot xml. So when you open this, you get a code and a view. Let me just, so this is your code and this is your view. Okay. So this is the whole thing that you need to make any view. We have a lot of inbuilt view that we'll be using inside the for creating Android applications. Okay. So that's it for this video. We'll be talking about some more things related to the this code editor, or I would say the UI editor. How can you use this UI editor to make layout more and more easily, and what are the features of this thing that you can use to leverage while making some UIs. Okay.